I think it's pretty safe to say that by far the biggest driving force for the hype of this movie has all to do with the return of Emperor Palpatine, also known as Darth Sidious, that is going to be portrayed by Ian McDiarmid once more to end the sequel trilogy and the Skywalker saga. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, we are precisely 143 days away from the release of this film, just under 5 months to go until we finally get to see J.J. Abrams' vision of ending the Skywalker saga and the entire sequel trilogy, and where Kylo Ren and Rey will be ended up at the very end of Episode 9. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very exciting for Episode 9. Now, specifically, what's really intriguing about all of this is that a description of both Rey and Kylo Ren facing Darth Sidious in a 2-on-1 lightsaber duel, where it's described to contain many different types of prequel trilogy choreography. It said that the fight between the three is brutal in the middle of a rainstorm, with lots of lightning in the background. One of the sequences is said to involve a moment in which Palpatine delivers a certain truth to Rey about Kylo Ren that causes her to shift into a fit of rage. It's described that Palpatine exposes one of Kylo's intentions on Rey after their battle, making it out to be like Kylo planned to kill Rey after the battle against Sidious if they actually defeated him. It said that this causes Rey to turn on Kylo, where she begins to embrace her anger and hate against Kylo Ren even though it's not true, where she has the upper hand against Kylo Ren. It's said to be a parallel of what happened to Luke against Vader in Return of the Jedi, however on a larger scale, where she fully taps into the dark side. It's said to be a sequence where Palpatine temporarily turns Rey to the dark side, since he knows that a dark power lies dormant within her, where Palpatine is testing Rey's ability against Ren. So let's go over a couple of parts about this. Now, what's really exciting about this is that this is one major mind game by Palpatine. He's essentially lying about Kylo Ren's intentions against Rey if they were to defeat Sidious right then and there. And he's making believe that Kylo Ren was going to kill Rey after they actually defeated Palpatine himself. Now, what's exciting about this is that this is the moment in which Rey's dormant power is actually going to erupt against Kylo Ren, where we have, of course, Palpatine exposing that power that lies dormant within Rey, and he allows Rey to use this against Kylo Ren, where Rey has the upper hand against Kylo as he struggles to fight her. So that most definitely lines directly up with what we talked about, I believe it was like 4, maybe 5 months ago, of a sequence where there was a dark and sinister figure portrayed by an unnamed actor, which now we understand is Palpatine, and of course a moment in which Rey turns on Kylo during their alliance against this dark, sinister figure. So that most likely lines directly up with this here, where we do indeed have a moment in which Rey turns to the dark side temporarily, kind of similar to what happened with Luke. In fact, it's in, the actual canon material that Luke turned to the dark side temporarily and tapped into that power to take down Darth Vader. But in this scenario, it's on a different level. In this scenario, she fully taps into the dark side for a good amount of time, going up against Kylo Ren, as Palpatine is in the background watching her fight Kylo, testing her ability essentially, and watching how powerful this dark, dormant power really is. So on top of all of this, we do know that Episode 9 is going to take a lot of risks and is going to introduce a lot of different twists and turns that will lead to saga-wide implications here. Now, Palpatine actually lying about Kylo Ren's intentions, it really does raise the bar when it comes to a conflict between 3 different characters. It's kind of like imagining Dooku doing something around, it's kind of like imagining Dooku doing something like this to Anakin going up against Obi-Wan Kenobi on Geonosis. It's kind of like that situation if that were to happen. So past all of this, this is all said to take place in the middle of a torrential rainstorm, which most likely is on board of the actual Death Star 2 wreckage in the middle of that ocean. So we do know that this particular scene is going to be very dark and gritty, and is going to have a lot of, I guess you could say, risks involved for the character of Kylo Ren and Rey, of what they're really dealing with here, which is of course the master manipulator, the puppeteer of all puppeteers here, right? We do know that Palpatine really is going to be a big focus in the Rise of Skywalker, and that he really is going to have a large presence from start to finish of this movie, starting off small and gradually coming to the point where he ultimately reveals himself and fights Kylo and Rey in the actual saber fight. So, not only that, we also know that Rey has tapped into the dark side before, in the past in The Force Awakens, you guys may recall, where she took down Kylo Ren on Starkiller Base. In The Force Awakens novelization, she does hear a voice at that point in time, telling her to kill him, and she almost does it. However, if it weren't for the environmental change, that landslide, if you will, she actually would have really killed him. So, with that being said, guys, I would love to hear each and every one of you what you have to say about this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.